How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for the 27th of December. As always, there'll be timecodes in the description if you want to fast forward to one endeavour you're looking for, or if you want to go to the golden vendor at the end of the video, I've got that there as well. Spoiler, there's not really anything I would advise you look at, maybe aside from War Maiden's Jury. But even then, probably just buy that shit from guild stores anyway. Also, I'm going to just be taking a few days off, just have a bit of a chill. I'll be back after that, and it's business as usual after that. Yeah, I'm doing some other stuff as well. The Dark Chronicle or Dark Cloud 2 video is out if you want to watch that as well. And the Nightblade cloaking build is steadily going along. But yeah, it'll be a little while before that's out as well. But yeah, just want to take a few days off. I'm sure you'll understand. I'll be back to normal after that. Okay, so this set here, these two are fucking dog shit. Don't bother with them. These two here are way easier, way quicker. This one here probably take you like 20 minutes plus. This one probably take you way longer. These two here will take you a few minutes tops. The only thing is, this one here you might need to fork out just a little bit of gold. This one here you might need to run off to find like a location. After that though, there's an easy way to travel straight to a bunch of reptiles really quick. This one here, incredibly easy no matter what you do. Okay, so I will start with deconstructing. Now, there are two ways to do this. There's the Imperial City way and the White Tower way. So basically, if you have a character above level 10, which I assume most people do, go to Imperial City. If not, go to White Tower and just grab some items there. It's just that it'll be just a little bit slower. By a little bit, I mean like maybe 30 seconds or so. So yeah. But if you're going to do the Imperial City route, do these two first, and then you can port straight to Imperial City from anywhere. And you can just do that one third, and it might be more convenient doing it that way. But yeah, either way, it's whichever way you want to go about doing this one, it's up to you. Because you will have to travel around for the other two. Alright, now, to get to Imperial City, you go to Enter Campaign. Here, just right-click and enter. Wait for the invite to come up on the screen. Occasionally it could take a while, but yeah, don't worry, it's normally pretty quick. There's two campaigns, so it should, and I've never ever seen it like pop locked in like years. So yeah. Alright, so the first thing is you can just go to any crafting station in the game, craft 8 iron daggers. It'll take you 16 iron ingots and just like a bunch of star materials, but in my opinion, why go out and like get the materials and use them on your own stuff when you could just go and just steal some, or not steal, like take some stuff and just deconstruct it that way. There's a bunch of items you can grab easily in Imperial City. For example, there's some helms and sabatons over here. I could just go over and just deconstruct this stuff, and that way you just don't use your own resources. You can just do this basically like on any character, regardless of what you got. So in this first room, there's always going to be some weapon racks over here, one there, one here. And they usually have some metallic weapons. So you've got an axe, got a sword, got a battle axe sword there. Over here, there's some swords as well. There's a dagger over there. And if that's not enough, there's always a room with this icon here. It's got the sword and the shield. Go into this room, and there will be a bunch of heavy armor items that you can find. You just got to look for them. In this case, there's a bunch of cuirasses and yeah, just a bunch of heavy armor over here. And there's also just like some weapon racks over here, for example, with some metal weapons. Now, the locations will be a little bit different depending on your alliance. The Ebonheart Pact one is over here, for example, but the outcome is always the same. There is always shit tons of items that you can go and deconstruct at a blacksmithing station in here, and nothing is stolen. That's the main thing. You can go and steal some stuff, but it's just easier doing this and not worrying about a bounty. You don't have to like go crouch and worry about any of that shit. You just go in here, take whatever you can find, and you just deconstruct it. Easy as. Now, once you got all the items done, just head back to the main room. You'll see a tunnel here with a little gate. It's open and an exit door here. This is how you get back out to Overland. So from there, that's it. You can just go on to whatever's next. So the other option, White Gold Tower, is also really good. It's just you need to go to a way shrine first to get there really easily. You can just travel there with gold if you want. But yeah, so this is the below level 10 option. It's still the only thing that's like going to take longer is there's no crafting station in here to deconstruct with. In that case, let me show you something to speed up that as well. Let's come in here. You'll find a bunch of swords on the floor, for example, all this stuff here. all these dead bodies. Yeah, unfortunately, they're dead, but then they're not going to need their stuff anymore. So just go through there, loot all this stuff here, all the great swords and swords you can find. There's also some stuff on the ground. There's the trophy vault. There's some stuff in there that you can just go through the door and grab some metallic weapons. But yeah, there's a weapon rack over here, and that should be more than enough stuff just in this area here to deconstruct with. So once you got enough stuff, just head back out here with the exit. You'll be taken straight back to where you came in from. So in this case, if you're next to a way shrine, it's really convenient. If you didn't find enough stuff in there, just like really rare, and like you just really got like really shit RNG, because sometimes items can't pop up, just go back in and everything should reset. So now what I advise you do is go to the Vardenfell zone and just look for the halls of fabrication here. It's not the only one. You know, there are a bunch of other trials you can travel to, but this is the base game one. So yeah, if you got a trial you'd rather go to, just go to that. But the reason we're in here is this is a base game option, and as soon as you rock up, there'll be a blacksmithing station like right next to you, basically. So, oh, my cat just kicked the door. Oh, it's over here, yeah. So the northwest corner. So over here, you've got the same thing. Just go to the deconstruct section here, and that'll be it. And then from here, just go to the exit over here. The character starts deciding to have a fit, and yeah, we'll just be taken back to the way shrine. So that's all there is to doing this one here. Very quick. Don't need any materials. Really easy to do. Alright, so next up on the list is killing reptiles. So you've got two really good spots. This area here has a shit ton of reptiles in it that you can kill. You've got giant snakes here, which count. One. Guars also count. There's lots of these things just around the place. These are docile. You can kill them though, and it counts. You've also got Kaguti. There's a lot of them in sort of the more southern side. Sorry, yeah, over here as an example. So just kill these guys as well. They'll count as reptiles. And yeah, this area here, the only thing that doesn't count, unfortunately, I don't know why. They look like fucking reptiles. Lamia. These guys here, they're barbaric foes. It's kind of weird. Yeah, so they don't count. But yeah, the Kagutis, the Ellets, maybe the Ellets. I'm pretty sure the Ellets too. I don't know if there's any here. But yeah, Kaguti, Guars, crocodiles all over the place here. You can also find crocodiles all over the place around all sorts of areas in Shadowfen as well. So this place is just crawling with reptiles. Now, if you haven't been here before, you won't have any way shrines naturally. What I advise you do is just use home tours. If you don't know how to use home tours, just look in the description. There's a video, just a quick tutorial on how it works. It's basically just like having a bunch of extra way shrines unlocked as soon as you start the game. It's really handy. Yeah, you've got a house right here, Stay Moist Mansion. This gets you right straight over to this location here with a shit ton of beasts in it. So yeah, everything you need for this endeavor is like right here. Just the Lamia is the only thing you just don't bother with. Let me show you one more option, which is an instance area. It's in a dungeon. So the value of this one is you can just go straight to a way shrine, travel inside, and all the reptiles are like basically right next to you when you get into the door. So we are headed to the Rift, to Blessed Crucible. Do it on normal if you can. Don't do it on vet. It takes longer. It's probably doable, but yeah, it just takes forever. But yeah, if you do this on normal, all the there's 6 Durzogs at the front, and they have like 50k health. They're pretty weak. They have less health than the Kagutis do out in Shadowfen. So yeah, just bring a little bit of AoE with you, just chuck it on the floor, and just blast these guys at smithereens. These will count as reptiles as well, and yeah, there's 6 of them, so it's enough for 5 for the endeavor, and that's it. And when you leave, you just go through the cave here. You'll find the entrance. And then you just go through the entrance. That will take you back to the way shrine you came in from. Or if you came in via the overland, then just straight back outside. Yeah, very convenient that way as well. So it's a bit more of a trek getting here for the first time, but it is more worth it if you can do it. What you need to do is, again, use home tours. It's your best friend in this game. So you've got Old Mistfell Manor over here. All you have to do from here is just travel this way. Go to this way shrine, unlock it, come down here, go through here. There'll be some wooden palisades. You just got to go through 2 sets. Once you leave this wooden palisade, there'll be you'll just walk forward a bit. There'll be a bunch of stairs this way. You just follow the stairs, and you'll get to a door which has is which to get to Blessed Crucible here. And from there, you can then travel to this from any way shrine in the game. So yeah, it's just very convenient getting in here and using these reptiles for the Endeavor. It's usually my choice there. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Alright, chest from treasure maps. This one here, you can either get treasure map chests reliably, kind of reliably from one, really much from the other. Okay, so dolmens. If you're going to level up any characters, this is a good thing to do for this Endeavor, because dolmens, the chest at the end for completing it, drops treasure chest maps. Not the most common thing, but it does happen. I've gotten a couple already from leveling up some characters. So you could do that, but if you want a guaranteed option, you go to guild stores, and you go down to miscellaneous, you go trophy, and just make sure treasure map up here is selected. And what you want to do is just, you can go unit price, but just make sure the total is the lowest it can possibly be. And you just want to buy anything that's like, basically, I wouldn't buy anything more expensive than 500 gold. I know you will have to pay a little bit, but honestly, most of these should be pretty damn cheap. And doing this, no matter how far you have to cross like a zone to get to one of these, it shouldn't be any longer than like maybe 10 minutes. 5 minutes, usually like just a couple. Compared to the cycle bosses option, it's going to be way longer. It takes way longer. So yeah, I just still advise doing this. Now, what you want to look for, obviously try and get something cheap, but oh wow, Rift treasure map for 50 gold. Okay, so you want to look for, I call them the trainee zones. There's 5 of them. Artaeum is also another great zone if you can get a treasure map for that, because Artaeum is a small zone. But yeah, Stros Makai, Balfoin is another good one. Let's have a look. I guess Mephala wouldn't be too bad if you've got the DLC, but yeah, that's pay-gated, so not everyone's got access to it. Yeah, these two here, these two are great. So the trainee zones are Balfoin over here, Bleakrock Isle, Betnik over here. I think you can already see where I'm going with this. Stros Makai and Kanathis Reef. The reason I suggest these is, as soon as you enter the zone, you've got one-way shrine here, like that you unlock straight away, so you can travel to it at that point easily from then on. And the zone is very small. It only takes like a minute or two getting across Kanathis Reef, obviously with the fastest mount you can have. But this entire zone, like once you've got a treasure map for that zone specifically, it's very easy reaching over there. So if I just go ahead and buy this this treasure map here, Stros Makai one, I'll show you just how small the zone is and how easy it is to traverse. One last thing you want to get to make this a lot easier, I'm just going to travel out of here before I get fucking pelted with shit. Stros Makai over here. The one last thing is, if you can get the add-on, get this one here. It's called Lost Treasure, this one. What this does is, whenever you get a treasure map in your inventory, just make sure you claim it in your mail if you've bought it on a guild store. It will show an X marks the spot on the map, and what this will do is just, usually the treasure maps have like a little, you have to look at where it is, and obviously some of these you can get pretty easily, but it's just work that I just don't want to really bother with. So in this case, I just got it on the map there, so I can just travel to it very easily because I know where it is. So I'll make sure that that add-on is in the description as well. So there it is there. You can see the dirt mound here. So just dig it up. And as soon as you dig up the dirt mound, it will complete the endeavor. So you don't have to loot the treasure, though I'd still do recommend it because in most cases you'll get some stuff that you might want. Alright, so yeah, that's it. Honestly, it just, doing a single cycle takes 5 minutes usually. So yeah, it's just going to take a long time. I just don't really recommend it. And this one here, this can take fucking forever. Like, getting alliance points, you need to do multiple battlegrounds to get that much. And if you lose 2 battlegrounds, you need to do a third. You can take a couple of keeps in Cyrodiil, but like, it's a lot of work, especially doing it on your own. And if you're going to do it with multiple people, it's like, sure, it's faster, but you need to get those people, and you can fail it. It's just, I don't think these ones are worth the effort. Even if you have to like do everything possible to set up for these ones, it's just, they're so much easier to do, I think. So yeah, that's my personal opinion there. Ooh, Columbine. So now taking a look at the Golden Vendor. Spoiler, nothing really worth anything, I personally think. So, firstly, Bogdan and Spawn and Mephala, just running through the monster sets. Yes, they're both helmets, but they're both, in my personal opinion, terrible sets that you should really not need or even look at. Bogdan here, the area 5 meters, and it just chucks a little heal on the floor. Like, that is such a small area, and yeah, just most cases you don't really need an extra heal for like anything. And like PvE, there's just so many other heals that you can get, and there's so many better monster sets you can use to buff your team that will do much more for you. And in PvP, a 5 meter area heal that doesn't move, like, who the fuck is going to be standing in this little AoE, right? Like, I just don't understand. This set is very old, and I don't think it's, even in the olden days, I don't think it was very good either. So yeah, just ignore the set. I think it's fucking decon material, honestly. Spawn and Mephala. Now, very specific time when, like, around the Morrowind release, when they absolutely fucking gutted sustain. Heavy attack Dragonites were big, and while you would use something much better, this is sort of like a poor man's heavy attack build set at the time, because Spawn and Mephala, it's a base game option that you can get from Fungal Grotto 2, which isn't too difficult, but the damage is pretty shit, and you're relying on that damage with heavy attacks, which is not something that you really want to do if you really want to push your damage. So it's pretty abysmal damage on a very subpar damage option. The only instance where you'd want to use this on like a build where fully charged heavies are incentivized would be a heavy attack sorcerer with a lightning staff and sergeant. But at the same time, you've got things like the more of the infernal. You could just use any other good monster set with that build, and it would perform better than Mephala's, unfortunately. Once again, decon material. I know it does the snare, like the web under the target. I'm pretty sure that snares, and some people talk about how it can be interesting in PvP to annoy people with it. But yeah, supposedly it doesn't do anything other than just annoy people. So yeah, just again, decon material. Sorry, I've meant to say as well, I've like, some people have good memories with this set, like just in Overland, but like, yeah, just don't get this thing. It's not worth it. Alright, so as for the jewelry, we've got 4 rings, Blind Path Induction, very new set, comes from, is it Lepsiclusa? Yeah, so Fledgling's Nest from Lepsiclusa. Now, on paper, it seems quite nice, but the problem is, shields aren't really going to be, like, on a typical shield that you put on another player, like, it's not going to be very big. Like, the only really huge shield that you're going to give someone is maybe ward if they're low health, and you're only giving them a couple thousand. At that point, that's kind of overkill. And the healing done over range is like the weird bit. So if I just bring up this image, so this is 15 meters as range. So your shields are stronger here, and your healing is stronger past this point. So it's like that range there. And I just think there's not really going to be many instances, I guess outside of like PvP maybe, but in PvP your shields are also halved, so this set is not going to be very good over there. But there's just not going to be many situations where you're healing a group from so far away. Like maybe like very situational places, like more of Locage. Maybe if both healers are on one side of the twins fight, maybe one of them can heal from all the way over here and it's stronger, but you're just not going to be getting much out of that. Like, there's so many other problems that you, like, other things that you want to probably focus on in that fight that getting a bit of extra healing is not really going to help too much. Maybe when it came out, because the like Templar reflective light thing that the golden ads throw out is kind of rough, but yeah, in this day and age, probably don't need it. I just can't see this being like practical in many situations. But I don't know. I'm not a healer main, so don't take that with a grain of salt. Like I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like this is going to do much for you. Because yeah, that area is just the longer range is just, you're not really going to be finding places where that healing is going to help you, and you don't really need healing done buffs that much anymore in healing, like in any high-end healing stuff, because there's so many other things you can do to buff it up without needing to sacrifice a whole 5-piece for it. Now, fledgling. This is also relatively new. Oh, sorry, no. What am I doing? Fledgling is Lepsiclusa. I'm pretty sure this is it Bedlam Vale? Yeah, Blind Path and Junction. Sorry, I got that wrong. But they're both very new dungeons, basically. Okay, so, yeah, fledgling from Lepsiclusa. This suffers from a kind of a different but same issue. So, magic and stamina recovery in an area, and 8 meters, it's okay. It's definitely better than Bogdan. God, this is a piece of shit. But 168 magic and stamina recovery, it's just like wasting a whole 5-piece on that. Like, that just doesn't seem like a good idea. That's not a lot of extra regen. And the other problem is minor courage for 10 seconds. This is a buff you can get from Banner, right? That you can give your whole team. Banner Bearer, go down to the bottom, courage here. So you can give your team minor courage from this anyway. In any situation, this is base game too, right? So, and that's a DLC set, like fucking hell. In any situation, you are better off sacrificing a skill over a 5-piece if you can get the buff for it. And even then, there's still going to be 5-piece sets that run, like, you don't have to stand still for a second to get this buff, and like the buff lasts like way longer anyway. So yeah, just like as an example, you can give your whole team minor courage with Arcanist using their domain skill. I can't really short here unless, yeah, I can't short. But yeah, Arcanists have Arcanist domain, which gives minor courage, and you also get a set called Yolnakrin from Sunspire. This also gives minor courage when you taunt, so basically all the time. So yeah, there's just other ways to get this buff that you just don't need to worry about that stuff. So yeah, wouldn't really use this set either. Ring of the Wield. This ring here is so status effect while your health is high, healing done when your health is low. So seems like an interesting option for PvP, but then the problem here is what effect status effects have. So you got to think about this in like how much damage status effects do in like a typical build. Maybe in PvP it's a bit more of a different story, but even then, like, status effects don't do that much damage. They help, that's for sure. But the problem is, right? So take a look at this like typical damage pass from like a Arcanist in this day and age. Like, so here's the percent of all the different things that like apply damage, how much weight they have. Not a single one of these all the way down here until burning is a status effect. So you're not really getting a lot of damage by increasing this stuff. You're better off just focusing on other things, like increasing your weapon spell damage, your pen if you need to, your crit damage, your all that stuff, because that's only impacting a very small portion of your damage. Whereas if you get other things, like it's just a good example of Order's Wrath. It just increases all the damage of like your damage of everything. So why would you want that much status effect from a full 5-piece? Like, there's just, you're going to be sacrificing in every other avenue in that case. And just I don't really feel like this is a good thing to do. But I don't know. I'm not a proper damage dealer, but yeah, again, it doesn't seem like a set you want to use. And then War Maidens. This one a bit more complicated, right? Because magic damage is a very common damage type. Like if you look at this, oh no, sorry, I'm on a stamina build, but the builds on EU that I run, like the cloak builds, they're like probably 80 or 70% magic damage, so they do a lot. And if you run a magic damage or like a Nightblade bomber, a lot of stuff you can get is magic damage. Like if you run the proxy debt, this is magic damage, and it increases in damage based on how many targets it hits. Nightblades also use Soul Tether, which is magic damage. They use Staff Essence for the Spam Ball at that point, which is magic damage. And there's some builds that just basically like do just magic damage and nothing else really. Like nothing else is significant as like a different damage source. So it's kind of good. The only problem is like it is just magic damage, so you're putting all your eggs in a single basket, and no build is fully magic damage. Like, unless you use a restoration staff, you're not going to be increasing the damage of your light attacks, which is a bit of a significant portion. And the better enchants for dealing damage are not magic damage based ones, they're other sources of damage. But yeah, I don't think this is an awful set. It's just outperformed by other stuff in this day and age. But yeah, back when it came out, this was actually really good, and it's not awful. So yeah, the only thing is I just have to double check. Is Arcanist, is that beam magic damage? Yeah, Fate Carver's magic damage. So Ward Maiden would just increase, like, buff the shit out of your Fate Carver damage. Whether that's worth it or not, I don't know. Because yeah, a lot of the other stuff is different damage. But yeah, War Maiden is probably the only one I would consider on this list. But at the same time, because yeah, the Golding Fate Carver, Golding War Maiden does impact the 5-piece compared to like blue, green, purple quality. But it's not a meta set anymore, like, per se. So it's not something I would really do in this day and age. But yeah, of any of these, it's definitely the most interesting and probably the most sought after. But yeah, again, not really worth your gold. I think any of this stuff here, I don't think is worth your gold. Alright, so that's daily's done. Once again, if you have any questions, just give me a holler. But yeah, so as I said at the start, this will be the last daily for just a couple of days. I'm just going to take a bit of time off. Yeah, I'll be back very soon, and yeah, it'll just be business as usual after that. I'm still doing the, as I said as well, I'll still be doing the, I've got a Nightblade Cloak build coming up, and yeah, the Dark Chronicle Part 2 playthrough has come out. Darkcloud 2 playthrough has been released as well, if you want to watch that stuff. And yeah, I'll be continuing with those long videos as much as I can. Should be every week. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in a few days.